Good afternoon. There are two things that responsible renewables absolutely entail. The first is you must take care of the waste. It's absolutely criminal in this day and age to look at putting up renewables without thinking what will happen at the waste of life. This has to be put in place now. And the second is we need to reach out to everybody with use of renewable energy, which means decentralized, distributed renewables. It also means that our livelihoods, the livelihoods of people and their income generation, preferentially is dependent on renewables and is dependent on renewables to make those kinds of applications happen. So, to me, what is most important is renewables, and particularly solar, which I work with, have the potential to provide round-the-clock energy at round-the-clock solar plus storage at prices that are completely viable as far as fossil fuels are concerned, and you can do it at any scale. So you can do it at 1 kilowatt, you can do it at 10 gigawatts. These three things are what excites me. Most importantly, I look forward, therefore, to energy being available at affordable costs to everybody in the society. You know, we are looking at using people's land, either owned or informally, which they use in the future. We need to develop models through which cost sharing can occur, through which incomes can flow over time. It's not as if this is something new. We've done it with wind energy in Tamil Nadu, where leases of only the land below wind turbines has allowed farmers to get some of the income that comes from the sales of electricity. It is that kind of revenue sharing that can help both legitimize renewables and make people comfortable that they can do agriculture and they can also focus on photovoltaic generation. In Europe, particularly as far as agri-photovoltaics are concerned, we are seeing in Germany a new wave of simultaneously looking at photovoltaics on the top or standing on the sides and agriculture happening on the ground. So right now what is being done is that the agricultural yields, the monies that you get, revenue that you get from agriculture is not touched, but you get an additional money from the generation of electricity. What we are looking at is that people start having two incomes, one from agriculture and one from photovoltaic sales. It depends on which part of the world you are in. But in the vast parts of the world where we are seeing 2 or 3 kinds of solar plants coming up. One is what we see as the large solar plants, which are connected to the grid and which therefore feed, for example, the electricity needs of large towns. But we are also looking at the future in which you've got distributed solar energy, whether as solar mini-grids or for people's incomes, for example, solar cold rooms, which run on photovoltaics, or solar pumps. All of these things together make an ecosystem which therefore makes solar energy viable, and it enters your life and mine. I think there are 2 or 3 things that are needed. First, we need to put into place policies that help in the collection of money at the time of photovoltaic sales for collection of when they become waste when they reach their end of life. If this money is not collected in advance, this collection will never happen. Second, you need to make sure that at the end of life, there is an opportunity to see what can be recovered. Very clearly, technologies move on, and therefore the technologies of 25 years later will be different from the technologies of today. But if you can ensure that the photovoltaics are completely separable, and that means standards now, then it can happen that they go into wherever it makes sense. So these are two things that are needed. The other thing which is needed is a huge focus on developing the kinds of decentralized product applications. So for example, if you're looking at flour mills, can you have flour mills that are solar powered? Of course you can. In fact, the Selco Foundation out of Bangalore is working exactly on these kinds of applications and selling them globally. We need to see how these decentralized applications can be developed, and there is a strong ecosystem in their development, which means that the national innovation agencies, for example, the National Anusandhan Research Foundation in India or the Departments of Science, they start funding research in these areas.